In this, the third video on day trading, I'm going to share with you, I'm very excited about this, the specific type of day trading that I do, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I do it, and I'm also going to give you an example. So we're going to look at a chart, I'm going to show you where I get in and where I get out, all right? And stick around, because at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the best advice I ever got from my coach, my current coach. Hey everybody, it is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking a little Nespresso. All right, background. So I am Jay Crater. I am a former rideshare driver. For 4 years, I drove 20. But as my life started to change, I realized I wanted to travel more. I realized I wanted to do something that I could do forever, that I wouldn't ever have to retire. And that's why I came upon day trading. So number one, what do I trade? So I'm what's called a momentum small cap stock trader. Okay, so I'm momentum. So that means I'm looking for stocks that are moving, right? They're moving. Now, some people like to buy stocks that go up as well as go down. Okay, you can make money either way. Me, I like to just be a specialist, and I seem to vibe more with the stock going up. So all I'm looking for are long positions, meaning I'm going to buy it at $2 and I want to sell it at $2.50, for example. Okay, that's called going long. So that's what I'm after. So the specific stocks that I like to work with are generally priced under $20. The float is low, which means there aren't a lot of shares of the stock to be traded. And this tends to increase the volatility of the stock. Okay, I want the stock to be very visible, so very high on the different scanners that all these traders all over the world are looking at. Because the one that's at the top is the most obvious. That means that's the one the most people are going to be interested in. The more people that are buying and selling, that's going to make the movement a little bit more predictable, and it'll make the movements bigger and faster. And the last thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking for what's called a pullback, which means as the stock goes up, then there's going to be a point where people are going to say, wait a minute, I'm going to sell a little bit here. Okay, and then it's going to come down. And then at that point, okay, that's where I want to buy, because that's kind of a low point, and then it's going to surge back up. Going up like this, right? This is up, okay? That means the price is increasing. So you can see the price over here, okay? And what I'm looking for is, it's really obvious, right? And this one's the top one. So a lot of people are looking at this one. And then I'm looking for pullbacks in order to that's called my entry point. And then I want to sell after it's gone up a certain amount, okay? So this right here is a perfect example of a pullback, okay? So here it's been going up, then these red means it's coming down, okay? And then that's the pullback. And then once it comes up and it gets right to that point right there, put a line right there, okay? That line right there, that's where I would want to buy, okay? And then in order to reduce my risk as much as possible, I would say if it goes below this line here, that means something's wrong, okay? So I'm buying it here at about 126, and if it goes below 123, $1.23, that means it's going the wrong way and I should get out. So that's very little risk. That's only 3 cents. And then it goes up, 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 right? And you might have sold here, or you could have held until it really makes a turnaround up here. But I probably would have gotten out around here, okay, at 136, okay? So let's just put a line there, okay? I usually try and get about 10 cents to 20 cents. For a dollar stock like this, 10 cents is pretty great. That's like a 10% increase. So if you had 10,000 shares, right? So you'd have a total of about $12,000 invested, and it went up 10 cents. It went from 27 to almost $137. That would have made you $1,000. All right, number two why do I like this kind of day trading? Well, first of all, it's volatile. So that means it's going to move, right? So almost every day there's a stock that's moving, okay? Now some days, like in a bear market like we have right now, there aren't as many moving up. But there are still stocks, as we see today, CBIO, that are moving up just fine. In a bull market, there are a lot of stocks moving up, right? And it's actually easier to make money if you're going long in a bull market. But we don't have that right now. So this is like really good training, because if you can make money in a bear market, you're going to do great, say next year when we go back to being in a bull market. Okay, so the volatility is one thing. Second thing is it fits my personality. So as you kind of experiment with different strategies, you're going to kind of figure out what is your personality and what strategy kind of meets your personality. Some people are much more analytical than me, and they'll look at a lot of different indicators, and they're going to be buying higher price stocks, and they're not going to be looking for the big moves, right? They're just looking for smaller moves based on much more on the history of the stock. Then there are people that buy stocks and they hold them, right? They're much more on the fundamentals, right? You think Tesla's a great idea, good car company, so you got to buy those stocks. So you got to figure out what's your personality, what's going to feed you, right, and make you happy, right, for the time you do that. And the third thing is there's only like 3 to 4 hours a day that you can do this kind of day trading where there's the most movement. So I like that. When I first started, I was with a coach that was teaching more of the swing trading. And these guys would just sit in front of their computers all day long, like 7 hours. And after a while, I just got bored with it because things weren't moving fast. And that's how I pretty quickly learned I wanted to be a small cap momentum day trader. The best advice I ever received was these words: break out or get out. In other words, if the stock's breaking out, right, it's going up, that's good. If it's not, get out. In other words, don't hang out when it's going like this, because it could just as easily go down as it is going up. If it's going up, that's the direction you want. That's breakout. But if it's not moving up and your money's on the line and it's slowing down or it's coming down, get out. So break out or get out. Those are magic words. I'll tell you one other thing. Another coach that I had, and this coach has been in the business for 40 years. He was my first coach. He said every day before he gets down in front of his computer, he says to himself, I can really do some damage to myself today, right? So he always acknowledges the risk that he's taking, in the market. So those two kind of go together, right? You reduce the risk by break out or get out, but you always got to have that in the back of your mind, managing your risk so that you can always, you're going to have losses. Think of a baseball analogy, right? Even the best players, 6 times out of 10 would not be able to get on base, right? So a baseball player that had a 400 average, it's 40% of the time they were successful. In day trading, the kind of day trading I'm doing, you want to be around 60 to 70%, but that still means, a third of the time you're gonna make trades that are gonna lose you money. And so you got to manage that risk. So what are the key takeaways here? Well, I guess the number one key takeaway is you got to really learn what it is for you that you like to do, okay, with the stock market. That's the first thing. And then once you figure out what you like to do, you got to get into a simulator and start practicing it, okay? Now, some people have different opinions about a simulator. I think it's really valuable because you can practice and you can get competent and you can build your confidence, right? And then you're going to switch over to real money, but you're going to be doing the exact same thing. Now, in the next video, I'm going to share with you the contents of a short course that Harry and I are putting together for you that will allow you to get into day trading without wasting time and money. Okay, so I'm going to share with you all the little shortcuts. I'm going to tell you the specific companies I work with, all the things that I didn't know when I got started that I wish somebody would have told me. so that I could have been a year faster in my development. So I'll share that with you next week. All right. So this is Jay Creator. I want to say thanks a lot for watching the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet to this YouTube channel, subscribe. Harry and the team put together great content for you. I think 5 or 6 days a week. So hit that little alarm thing so you get notified. And you go out and have a great day. Be safe out there. Take care.